Thank you for being here. I'm really impressed with the level of interest that you have in this project, and we appreciate you taking time out to learn more about it. I would ask you to check your phones to make sure that we're off. Cullen is going to take this forth with Wally's permission for those who are not able to be here today. Wally Zaman is the project engineer. He works out of the Suffolk office, and I had to drive over here from Suffolk this morning. So I'm going to turn it over to Wally, and he will introduce his colleagues who are with him, Chris from the local office, and others who will help him with this presentation. So we appreciate very much your willingness to give us this time. There have been a number of public hearings already with the county administrators and the county government and the town government. And I know that you worked this into your schedule to accommodate us, so thank you very much for making that trip over.
And I'd also like to thank everybody for their interest. You know, the citizen needs to be involved, and I'm glad that you all are involved in this project. This project started back in, I think, 2012, 2013. When we started designing the project, this project has federal money, so we have to follow certain federal rules and regulations. And we did all of those things. We have to follow, by law, we have to follow those things. So we do that. But before I get into the project, as Oral says, that I have some colleagues over here, and I would like to introduce with you. Chris Isdale is our residence administrator over here in, I'm sure some of you already know them. Mitch Connor is A's. And Matt, can you introduce yourself, because I don't know what, you switched around, so.
Yeah, sure. I was the project control specialist, but now I'm going to be a construction manager, training under Mitch over here.
I'm Mitch Layton. I'll be the lead construction manager on the project once we actually get to going into construction.
The reason our construction is getting involved is we are done with the design. And I was the design project manager for this project. We're done with the design. We put the advertisement for this project in April 27th. And then project has been recommended to a contractor. It hasn't been awarded yet. But if everything goes okay with the contractor, it will be awarded. I have some scrolls over there. If you guys are interested, I can show you what that project is all about. And I'm sure everybody knows about what the project is. Anybody does not know where the alignment is going to be.
If you could just review what the general course of the road is and where it's coming in, where it's going to end.
Awesome. I would need help, gentlemen. The first one, the top one. But as they're doing it, according to this process, we did the design. First, we do the preliminary design, and then we set some alignment. After that, what we do a public hearing, which we did in December of 2014. We had a public hearing, and there was a notice. Some of you are nodding their head, that means you probably have heard that, or maybe even came to our public hearing.
Okay, that's what I wanted to see.
Okay, so
Go further to the
to this way. So Route 13 is this way. It goes that way. The city of Cape Charles, the downtown area, is somewhere over here. We are somewhere here. Right there. So this is the 642. Currently 642 starts somewhere, I think here, and it goes just the jog, and then it goes straight, and then it splits this way and that way. So the new alignment, the way it's going to be, it's actually going to start from here. The Bayshore concrete plant, I don't know if you guys can see it, is somewhere here. It's a little back there. So from this part, all the way to that part would be a brand new roadway. That's a brand new alignment. And then from this job to your entrance is going to be reconstruction. And then from that, it's going to swing left and use this alignment. This is all brand new, all the way to Stone Roads, right there. And there's that, this is where the railroad switch is. Some of you probably know where the railroad switch is. Now, from this part all the way here is a brand new alignment. This existing roadway, this part, that will be obscured. And this existing roadway is going to turn and connect it with the new road. So in general, that is the alignment. Anybody had any questions?
One quick question for you. You mentioned that the contract itself to do all this has not been awarded, but at least outside of Bay Creek, there's already been a fair amount of clearing and grubbing done. Is that under?
You're talking about this part?
Yeah. Is that under a different contract?
That's the utility relocation.
That's the utility relocation? Okay, so that's their work.
They're already started on it.
Okay, thank you.
That's also VDOT work as well.
And I did have a question about that because I see that new poles are going up. Is there no thought to putting that underground?
My utility manager is not here. Usually, the way he follows certain procedures, and I'm not sure what the procedures is. I am sure he has thought about it. Now, every time we use federal money, as I said, there is a federal money. We have to follow certain rules and regulations. If he could put it on underground is expensive. Putting on expensive. If he could put it, and if it benefits him, he would definitely do that. I cannot speak for him. If you have this type of questions, I would suggest just give me something in writing. I can swing that by with him and see what his response. I don't want to speak for him. So,
It just seemed with a new road going in, and obviously there has to be some ditching that would accommodate the wires and so forth, but it would seem like an ideal time to do it, and anytime you can get rid of unsightly poles, in this day and age, one would think that it would be given serious consideration.
One of the things we see is a lot of times they replace in kind. So when it's above ground, they'll put it right back in the above ground. It's underground, go underground. That's not always true, just like Wally said, it's a justification and cost. But
Yeah, that's what I heard, that's what was explained to me, that it was the expense. I have another just general question. When you were looking at the initial design for the whole project, what was the reasoning, again, the rationale for not, connecting here, this road, and building all that highway?
yes. Well, the project is originally initiated by the county. We were directed to use this alignment. Now, we took that sketch and did our engineering based on that. I have seen some paperwork about this alignment, but we did not go into that, as I said.
It just seemed like it would be a lot less cost.
I could not speak for that because we really have not spent the time doing that because this was, and also, there was a donated land involved, so that's why we were given this alignment.
Speaking of the donated land, who donated the land?
Basically,
Okay. Okay, was it, and who owns the land up there?
right here?
Was that donated to some of that?
No, some of this is all Sinclair. This is town of Cape Charles. I think town of Cape Charles donated some. Right here, right there.
So for the donated land, was there some kind of reciprocal benefit that Bay Creek received?
Well, receives the, I guess, the roadway. When we started the project,
I can answer some of that. The alignment of the road was determined by the county and the town and the planning department. They evaluated at least 3, maybe 4 different alignments. And this is the one that came through the review process as being the most beneficial in terms of what they were attempting to do to provide access to the harbor and for the trucks coming out of Bayshore Concrete and other benefits that they wanted from this road project. So They came up with their alignment with their master street and highway plan, and then they went to the state to see if the state would pick it up as a state-funded, state-designed project, and that's how we get here today.
And that's one of the purpose and need, I think. When we do the project like that, we have to do environmental work. And for that, the purpose and need, we have to explain to FAIR, what is the purpose and need? And the world says that that's the purpose and need. The economic benefit for the whole region, for this alignment.
Okay, my question is, there's a few of us in here that live on that road, and you have bought some of our property. We would like to know, there's pink lines, there's green lines, everybody has a different story. I want to know how close you're coming to me. And I would really appreciate it if you would go out today and walk the different lines out there. Some people have been paid to have their fence moved. Some of us did not. So I think we need to know what, as people that live on that road, what's going to happen.
Has our right-of-way division contacted you? I mean, if your land is impacted, you should have been contacted by our right-of-way.
We were, but Frank, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, I'm just hearing different stories.
Yes,
We
every
were told
day,
one thing up front, and then I've been hearing some inconsistent things later. So we're just trying to get what's actually happening, and what's the timing.
Okay. Well, as far as the right-of-way part, it is already done. Again, I don't have my right-of-way folks with me. But the right-of-way acquisition part is done. Right now, what we have left is two things. One is utility relocation, just like Mitch says that they're doing it. After that, contractor is going to come and build the road.
so how far is the road going to come in?
From where?
From the existing road?
From the existing, you mean right here?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, its existing road is going to remain where it is. It's going to be expandable. Right now, the lane is 9 feet wide, but the proposed lane is 12 feet wide. Plus, it has I have to look it up. It has a shoulder of 10 feet, or 6 feet, I forget. I have to look it up. So 6. So whatever that becomes, so if your roadway is right here, 9 feet lane, and I think 1 or 2 feet shoulder. If you make it a 12 feet lane, both sides, and then 6 feet shoulder, and then you have to have some drainage ditch. These are all required by our design manual, meaning we're using federal money, we have to follow certain books. So for that, whatever the amount comes out to be, it is what it is. I have a drawing that I can talk to you and I can show you what it is, but it's just going to give you a vague idea. It's not going to give you exact.
Well, that's what's happening. There's all these vague ideas out there. Like I heard yesterday, all the pine trees were going to come down by the fence. I mean, you know, every day there's a different story. What are you taking?
Okay, I'm not sure where you're getting this news. Yeah, sure.
I mean, we're not in construction. So what you're seeing now is utility relocation. That's usually the utility companies. So you may see lines marked on the ground for all their work. So we'd have to probably look at your individual parcel and see where that right-of-way line is. You know, once we start construction, that'll be more established. They may be having to move fences now for some people for the utilities, and you may be affected. I wouldn't know your individual parcel without looking at the plans.
Was the yellow flag for the utilities and the red flag was just the right of way?
Probably
The red flag designates the portion that VDOT has purchased from the homeowners.
That's
Red flag to the road.
That's not necessarily true.
The green, or
It's
it's already owned by Bay Creek. Okay. And-
Red should be right away.
Okay.
Can't guarantee you that. I haven't went out there and looked at everything.
But it was either owned by the homeowners or Bay Creek, and it had been purchased from either the homeowner or Bay Creek. The other is the yellow flag, which is the easement that has been covered. So from the yellow flag out, the easement. VDOT should not be touching anything south of the yellow flag.
Yes,
Okay.
that's the extent of easement.
That's the extent of easement. That's, now, my understanding is that where the trees are gonna come by, trees north of the fence, the current fence, and trees coming by north of the fence have been purchased by VDOT if it's gonna be effective. If VDOT has not paid for those trees, then it's not gonna be effective. I had 3 trees on my property that were affected. I don't know that there's any of the eastern my property was being affected.
And the reason being, it's because when it comes towards your property, they're cutting in.
No, the reason being is that coming towards my property, they are moving, the utility line from the corner straight back. It's the utility line. So they're doing the trees in order to place the utility line.
Because when you look at those flags, they'll come, they start going in toward you.
That's right.
Couple of questions.
I have a question for you. As you come over the hump, and you're coming down from the hump, okay, to make that, let's see, left-hand turn onto Old Cape Charles Road, you're going to have to make that a T-junction, correct?
Yes.
So there'll be a stop sign there?
There will be.
Because I can see somebody trying to come around the bend and swipe with a 18-wheeler. The other question is coming up on this loop here, okay?
This one?
Right, where Old Cape Charles Road comes in there, are you gonna have a medium in the centre? Because anybody coming in from up on Stone Road, coming down this way, which they're gonna do, okay, they're gonna have to come around and join in with traffic coming down Old Cape Charles Road. And you're gonna have accidents there, I guarantee it. So what you need there actually is you need a triangular island, okay, in the centre.
Are you
So
talking
you
about right
divide
here?
both highways. I'm sorry?
Are you talking about right here?
Right, absolutely. No, further down. Put your finger down.
That's gonna be gone.
That's
That's gonna be gone, Richard.
You need a
That's gonna be-
triangle.
Richard, that's gonna be gone. It's gonna be gone, that piece down there.
You're gonna close that part of
That's
the
gonna,
road, right?
okay, so in other words,
That's
Old Cape
closed.
Charles
Gone.
Road is gonna be gone?
Yes.
This
that
part
piece.
is gonna be obscured, this is gonna be gone.
All right, so what happens to people that own property on either side, particularly the farmers, how they're gonna get tractors in there?
Well, they're gonna use this road, this will be the brand new road, instead of this road is just, what we're doing is, we're taking this road, swinging it out, making a T intersection. Essentially, instead of that intersection, we're just taking this intersection and putting it right here.
Okay, now, the top here where you go into Stone Road, you're gonna have to make that very, very wide, because you've got 18-wheelers coming down, all right? And some of them are over 60 feet long. And they're gonna come out, there's have to be a traffic light or a stop sign or something there. Because people flying down Stone Road are gonna collide with a guy coming out with a tractor
There'll be
trailer.
a tractor, there'll be a light there.
There'll be a light there? Okay.
You mean about signal? No, she's talking about signal light here.
What speed will this road be?
35 miles an hour.
How many?
35.
25?
35.
Speaking of 18-wheelers, was a traffic study done?
You know that half the people in this room have golf clubs. And at 35, they cannot go on that road. The town has written, multiple people have written to VDOT to say make it 25.
Right.
So don't you guys listen?
Yeah, what? We do listen. And,
You know, it never came on the telephone, it came by email. The town sent letters and everybody else. You read your email. Why can't it be 25? Just
legally, we cannot do that. Again, this is a federal money involved, and
This is a tourist town. People like golf carts.
Right.
Half the people in this room here probably have golf carts.
Right.
And they drive them into town because it's legal in town. So why couldn't you have just made it 25 mile an hour? And that will actually stop some of these 18-wheelers doing 75 all the way to Bayview.
Yes.
Because that's what they do now.
Yeah.
But they've got to stop at the corner
Right.
because they have to turn. But they're coming in at 60 mile an hour.
That's right, yeah. Well, what has happened is,
Do you have a planning department that actually is concerned about speeds?
yes.
Well, why don't they listen to people?
Actually, they did.
They did listen.
They did.
Well, they ignored it.
No, they did not. What they did is 2006, They did a speed study.
We didn't have a lot of golf carts in 2006, and this place was hardly here.
Okay, and then
It's 2016 now. Does anybody agree with me here?
Yes. Question first. Malcolm, may I interject? Wally is here as our guest to tell us the status of the road project. If you've got specific questions like that, let's talk about it to the side. Let me explain to you. It isn't a public opinion decision on how fast speed limits are. They don't base speed limits based on the majority of the people wanting to be a certain speed. It's not discretionary. There's an engineering formula that's based on the background traffic that runs on that road and what the speed is that most people will drive on that road. So they can't just say 25 because everybody wants it to be 25. It has to be engineered. Otherwise, a lot of roads that are probably 55 will be down at 20.
Well, I tell you what, if a couple people get killed, they're gonna change it to 25, so.
Well, that may be, but I'm saying that Wally did not ignore the input that you wanted it 25. A lot of us asked that it be 25, and are still asking that it be 25, and haven't given up that one day it will change. But please don't accuse him of ignoring the people, because he has done everything that he can as a professional engineer to represent the people, not to ignore the people. And it's not fair for us to accuse him of ignoring or giving a blind eye to what the majority wanted. That's not the way they set speed limits.
Well, right now,
I've got a question here, actually.
I guess some semblance of a golf cart path from Bay Creek into town. When your cross sections don't show any accommodations for golf carts. Are there plans for an adjacent golf cart path to go from Bay Creek to tie into any other existing paths that go on into town?
Yes, we, during the design process, we talked about that extensively, how we can do that. One of the things that we came into hurdle was money. But putting that extra golf cart path, it's simple for you as a private citizen, but it's difficult for us to put a golf cart path. Our golf cart path would have to have certain standard. It would have to have certain offset. Again, these are all federal money. And when we do that, project becomes not viable, the cost goes up. We didn't have money to do that. So we respectfully declined that, and we looked at it. And I tried to accommodate as much as possible. Can we do that?
So the question for Oral.
Is this 100% federally financed or only partial?
80-20.
8, and who is 20?
State.
The state of Virginia. And 80 is the federal.
Well,
You call it federal money.
Will the golf cart path be replaced on existing Bay Creek land?
There's no plan to replace the golf cart at this point. It's acknowledged that a golf cart path is desirable and wanted and needed, and we need to fill that in. But this road project went through an extensive public process through the county, through the town. The golf cart was brought up. It did not make the funding request.
Okay, so all I'm saying is right now we have a private golf cart path in the town. Pretty much. Which is built by Bay Creek.
That is a need that's recognized that we need to address. But it's not on the books today. We don't have a specific plan for it today.
So basically, there will be no access in the town?
Can you tell me why you are cutting off?
And that's, I'm not going to do him because he's been raising his hand for a while. So I'd like to go to him first and then.
Couple of questions. First of all, what sort of traffic studies were done? Because I'm looking at this, and I'm assuming this is going to result in some rerouting of trucks. And do you have a number of now how many more trucks, say, per peak hour will be on this road? Do you have, is there a study that we can get a copy of that, or unless you know that number offhand?
Well, I can will show you.
That'd be great. I just
It's in
want
our,
to
plan.
like to know
Plan
sort of
set.
what will be the increased number of trucks now on the new 624 because of its.
After this meeting, I can talk to you.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Just curious. You're widening, basically, you're taking the existing footprint in front of Bay Creek and you're widening it to, from 9-foot lanes, I didn't know they were that narrow, to 12-foot lanes and shoulders.
Yes.
So you're using that same, you're basically accommodating the existing roadway footprint into that. Which now begs the question, two questions. How long is the construction going to be and what's going to be the maintenance and protection of traffic plan like? Because you're going to have to close some lanes
Sure.
and do
That's
one lane.
That's a good question, and
Okay.
I can answer that. That's design engineer, those are the things that I do the most. The construction fixed completion date is December 2017. What that means is contractor will have to finish it. As soon as he gets the NTP, which will be soon, as soon as he gets the award, the NTP will be given to him. And it's after that, it's, correct me if I'm wrong, it's his discretionary when he starts, right? But the fixed completion date is December of 2017. He will have to finish it by then. If he does not, he gets a liquidated damage for it. As far as your maintenance of traffic is concerned, the way we proposed, this is how the contractor builds this road. See, from this part all the way here, it's a brand new alignment. And from this part to there, there's a brand new alignment. There is no traffic currently. So he should build those things first, without interrupting any of you guys. Now, whenever he builds this part, once he's done with this part, and once he's done with that, only part is left is this part, right here. Because he's going to do this one also. This part is left. But we suggested that in order to speed up the construction process, he does not go to stage construction. He does the detour construction. What that means is, instead of building it stage by stage, meaning one lane at a time, instead of that, he blocks this road and he or you all use this brand new alignment to go to the town for however many duration that is. And then he builds this quickly. And once he builds that, he opens the road up.
No.
The other option is put a flaggers on both sides, build one lane at a time, and that's going to take a long time.
Where is the entrance to Bay Creek on that? Okay, so it's right there at the new alignment. Okay, so that makes sense.
And what's changing on the entrance? Is there anything being cut down from the current entrance? Because there's a lot of pine trees close to the road now.
Yeah, I think there will be a little bit of clearing and grabbing. So the basically just a little bit clearing and grabbing. And Oral can say that more about that.
That road, because the lanes are wider and the shoulders and the drainage changes from to be wide swales, about 50 or 60 feet of that front entrance will be taken down. And all of those pine trees that are right up on the edge of the tree, right at the edge of the road, right at the entrance, there are probably 8 big pine trees. They do come down. That hill that is now landscaped with the flowers and what have you, that entire hill, we have a plan to move it. Cut it off in the front, build it back in the back, and then replant.
And I imagine coming out of Bay Creek, the viewing's gonna be better because there's gonna be more traffic. And I know now coming out, there's not much traffic, but it's a little hard to see sometimes when you're taking a,
So the road that's coming in, is there gonna be, I mean, are we gonna have trouble getting out? That road's coming right into our front entrance?
I hope not. That's what we do as an engineering.
I've got a question for you. Why are we going to cut off this road that connects, where you're coming up here with a branch out to, Stone Road, then you've got, why don't we leave that in there? Because I tell you what's gonna happen. And up at the traffic light up here and the one at Cape Charles light, in the summer months we get really heavy traffic backed up there at the Cape Charles light. This would give us an escape route to get up to Food Lion, okay, by coming up by Parsons Circle and going around and coming out on the back side.
You can still
You can still do that.
Why you not do that?
Take a right.
Take the right.
triangle thing. See this little yellow triangle?
So you go
You
up
gotta put
there.
that little,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
it's right back down. Yeah, it's silly.
I tell you what, leave it where it is.
My question backs on that. One of the things Bay Creek members have done for a number of years is put up with the bumpy bump road. Old Cape Charles Road is a very difficult road to travel. And we put up with that for a number of years. We had, at least I had hoped that when this came in, that you would be able to take care of that portion. But what I'm hearing is that from your yellow part, the new part, two Parsons Circle, no, two Parsons Circle, Old Cape Charles Road.
Okay.
From there on down, you're not gonna touch it all.
Right.
There's no intent to refurbish that road,
Not,
because it's really a bad road.
that's not part of this project. I cannot speak for that.
So
But
for
as far
us-
as part of the scope of the project, no, you're correct, we're not touching it.
No plans to repair.
I cannot speak for that because that's not part of the scope of the project.
Well, I'll speak on that one. Yes, but not to that extent. It will be through a normal maintenance program, which we will overlay the roadway like you see us doing throughout the county and other locations with about 1.5 inches of black asphalt on top of it. So hopefully that will, with a leveling course, kind of take that bumpiness out of it, flatten it out a little bit, and make a better ride. But that won't be done until a year or so after the project is complete.
It should be done. My grandkids think that that's a joyride.
It's like a roller coaster, right? Yeah.
Question on the telephone poles. Now, I know where they're putting in the poles, they're set back further, because I guess, again, because of the road and that, the whole thing. And just to confirm, because I've been told this over and over, because I own the 2 properties with the extended fence that goes out, and right now I have the big telephone pole with the big support wire, and I've been told over and over, that's going to the other side. That's not staying on the Bay Creek side. And that the crossover is near the curve coming into, I guess, Crosby's.
If our utility manager or whoever told you that, and that's,
Okay.
and it is what it is. If somebody else told you that, I can speak for that.
Right. Okay.
This question may or may not be pertinent to you to answer, while it may be Oral can address it, I don't know. I understand why the road needed to be realigned because of the 18-wheeler traffic at Bay Shore Concrete, and that's perfectly understandable. I'm having a little problem here this morning, understanding how this benefits Bay Creek and the residents of Bay Creek.
Well, he said it did.
Well, it benefits, I think it benefits the whole town, whole area. What I was told that a lot of the truck traffic business, that we're losing to Delaware, I mean not Delaware, but yes, Delaware. That Delaware has the port, nearest port. And I was told that at least NASA uses Delaware for the truck traffic. If we move this road that way, this port may be.
So the traffic that's coming down that road to Bay Creek is gonna be traveling 35, probably 70, like we all see. And then when it gets to our entrance and goes down the new road, I mean, are those trucks just gonna slide right on through and we're gonna wait? We're gonna have the stop sign and they have the right of way?
Right now, what do you have? Right now, stop sign. So it's gonna be the same.
We'll have the stop sign. The trucks can travel right on line.
Yes.
You have one now.
There's no change, that's the way it is all now.
They do fly past us.
The change there would really, there's going to be an increase in the number of trucks.
Right.
There will be an increased number.
So if I could just come back and
Okay.
get that.
Okay.
Follow-up questions? So, by routing the road so that it comes directly past the gate at Bay Creek, then that presents us as Bay Creek residents with the need to deal with increased truck traffic. And basically, it's a major curve in the road there. Why, if Bay Creek gave the land, and Earl, this is probably more a question for you, why wasn't the road routed so before it ever got to our gate, it went off to the north there?
Good point. Very good point, John.
Yeah,
Avoid that area.
yeah. I mean, you've got a major residential community here that's growing. And it seems as though the road is going to have a negative impact on ingress and egress from our community.
Again,
That's just my impression looking at that.
I think we should look, I'd like to see that, that's why I want to see the traffic study and see
That's
exactly
certainly
what the
an
projected increase in traffic is.
That's certainly an opinion that you would have that. We think that this will enhance our community in terms of providing better access to the community, and particularly as the community grows. This gives you access to a fairly major highway that at some future date may be expanded, may be widened. When this is improved, you will have a direct route out to 184 and then to Route 13 without having to go a somewhat circuitous route back through the cemetery and either out to the left or out to the right. Or that. It's going to give you a paved, controlled highway with turn lanes. So we see it as an improvement. The road project wasn't based or wasn't approved because it improved Bay Creek. It was approved and funded by VDOT because it enhances the economic viability of this region and the harbor and the port activities there. So that's the justification for the roadway. But I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that it's a reasonable fear to think that this roadway, it's a two-lane road. Passing in front of us with turn lanes and what have you is not going to be a better one than over what we have now.
So, what was the benefit that Bay Creek saw by donating the land rather than having VDOT pay for the land?
When we got the road built. And it was Bay Creek South that donated the right-of-way, not Bay Creek Homeowners Association. It was the company Bay Creek South that owns that property over there. And Bay Creek South agreed to, as were others asked, to dedicate the right-of-way to incent the state and to incent the development and the furtherance of this road project. We felt that it was a good thing for the community, for the economy, for the town, and that we would benefit as a community by having an improved access.
All right. In addition to that, I think, this is just my thinking, I think the value of this whole area will increase because of the better road. You know, I don't know if you care about that or not, but individual personal value will go up.
The original, the one safety issue before, which I think you're correcting, was that road coming in from the town at the curve. That to me was very dangerous, and for the most part, with the stop sign or the stop lights coming, they have to stop there, coming from the town to turn left or right. The traffic coming that way, are they just, is that a yield? The yielding right there where they turn right?
No, this is just this. When they turn right, it's just like regular road.
Okay.
When you turn
So
right,
they could go straight or to the right,
yes,
but they're not stopping?
they're not stopping.
Okay.
Oral, I've got a question for you. Where you used to have the real estate office of Bay Creek on the old Cape Charles Road, it sits back. It used to be a little house, a ranch house, and then you used it as an estate office, you know, when we first opened up Bay Creek. Couldn't that road be moved back to roughly where that house is, or a little bit further? And then at the same time, with,
Too late.
owns that brick
This
building.
is not a concept public hearing. This is to let you know what's already been done.
Oh, okay.
It has gone through all the layers of review, all the public hearings. The county board of supervisors has voted on it a couple of times, the planning commission, the comprehensive plan, all of, that's been going on for like 2.5 years. And now it's been approved. This isn't up for, let's modify it, it's an approved project. They've taken bids. The ANEC is moving the power lines. They're getting ready to give the contractor the go-ahead to build the road. So this was an informational meeting. Many of you said you'd be interested in hearing what the schedule was for the road project, when they were going to start, and that sort of thing. So that's the reason we're here today, was to try to accommodate.
I got your point.
Speaking of the schedule,
Can I put it what saying, because these two gentlemen raising it for, I'm sorry.
We'd like to ask the people in the front to realize there's some people in the back with their hands up. Okay? If I need to move up front, I can easily do that. I will,
Okay.
yield to Bill.
Just a quick question to make sure. Did I understand that there is going to be a left-hand turn lane into Bay Creek off that main?
Right here?
Yeah, that main,
Right.
yes.
Right here?
Yeah.
You mean a separate dedicated turn lane?
Will there be a left-hand turn lane into that?
No.
I see that as a problem, whether you design it or not, with 18-wheelers, because the traffic's gonna get backed up there if there's a lot of traffic. You may want to look at that before they start shoveling the ground.
Thank you. Can you review, please, where there are going to be either stop signs or lights on this road that you have there?
Oh, that's very, very simple. There's only three locations. One is that right there is going to be a signal light at this new intersection. There's going to be a stop sign right here. This is a new intersection.
Stop sign for each road?
No, for these.
Stop sign coming in but not going down?
That's right. Other one will be right here for these four. Yes.
Do we know, have we done a study to determine how many truck trips we have on a daily or weekly basis that would come down the current Stone Road and up over the railroad line?
What we did a traffic study in this whole area, and we came up with the current traffic, including truck, and I have this information. Okay. And also what we call a design year, which is usually about 20, 30 years in the future. In this case, I think 22 years into the future. What could happen? Predicting future is rather art than science, but we have those information that we use, and I can show you after that.
Okay, thank you.
On the expanded roadway, will there be cuts for other roads so that that land there, all that land in there can be developed now?
Chris?
Will there be cuts in the existing
Right now, there's
project?
no plan.
No, not in that project, it's not, but it's not saying going forward.
I mean, I guess my question is, because this is a federal state project, on a road like this, is it allowed to have roads, additional roads down the line come in?
Yes,
It's not a limited access road.
It's not a limited access highway, but there are designs and approvals that need to occur before any connections are made to our state system.
Right, so we don't have houses here with driveways going in and out of that road particularly. You might have a road that goes back into housing.
I'm not gonna say you won't.
Oh, okay.
Not gonna say you won't, so.
Okay.
But currently, there's no access. There is no additional new access to anybody.
Okay, I have a question, maybe more for Laurel than for you guys. So, right now, Laurel, in the area north of Old Cape Charles Road, you have a nice, like, walking path, bike trails back in there. But I know we have access to little bridges across the ditch, and then you go back to the woods and go around and come up.
Yeah, we'll work around those there will be a couple of crossings where we'll probably have to redo the crossings, but we'll keep those trails. Those trails, you know, are temporary, but the concept of trails is permanent. So what's going to happen over time is as that property develops on that side, where the trail we'll have to do some planning to redirect or carry them in other places. But the concept of walking trails.
Thank you.
Or, back to Bill's question about the turn lanes, you had mentioned something previous to his question about turn lanes.
Yeah, there are turn lanes up there on 184.
Okay.
Right up there. That's what I was speaking of.
Okay. That's the only.
I don't think we need a turn lane here now. As there are engineering standards that are followed when you decide to build something like that. It would be nice to get it all built in. What happens with that is the budget gets way out of hand and then the project doesn't get funded. So when we need turn lanes there, we'll have to go back and put those in. And that's going to be determined based on traffic counts and the need. It would be nice to have that turn lane built with this road project. But there are a lot of niceties that we would have liked to have seen. We would have liked to have seen underground street, utilities. We would have liked to have seen a built-in golf cart path. We would have liked to have seen, all of those things came up. But somewhere along the line, somebody has to come up with a budget that they're willing to fund. So we'll go back and add those turn lanes as we need them, as the traffic count warrants.
You might want to add that this project was originally scheduled for completion in 2021, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
See, so they fast forwarded this project.
That is 100% true.
So, I just wanted to throw that out.
Would VDOT be interested in putting a golf cart path along the side of that new road?
Well, not part
At
of this,
VDOT's cost?
not part of this project.
I'm sorry?
Not part of this project. That won't be done part of this project.
Well, you do it in 10 years from now, it's going to cost you 3 times as much.
What's that?
If you do it 3 years from now, it's going to cost you 3 times as much. And not only that, you mentioned federal money. What you really should say is taxpayers' money. Because we pick up the bill.
Right.
It's not that Obama's giving us cash or everybody else comes to that.
Can you describe the width again of the new road? And is there going to be a bike path along one side of it or not?
Yes, bike, again, the roadway will be 12 feet lane, so two lanes, which is 24 feet. And 6 feet is the shoulder. At 6 feet, 4 feet will be paved. Now, those 4 feet will be used for bicycle path. And again, just like Oral says, we follow certain books, certain rules. We just don't do haphazardly things. And so 4 feet will be used for bicycle.
Will the bicycle path portion be on the south side of the road, or the north, or both?
Both.
On both.
Will
What is the
VDOT
legal requirement for
So
a
that's your
golf
golf
cart
cart
path?
path.
First of all, if the speed limit is 35, you cannot drive golf cart through that.
I understand that. So what is the legal width for a golf cart path? Do you know? If you don't.
There is
okay.
no set legal width for a golf cart path. It can vary,
It can?
yes.
Is there a minimum?
But it won't go in the right of way. That's the issue. Does it go in the right of way or out of the right of way?
So are you asking whether you can drive on that pathway, that sidewalk?
Well, I'm making an observation that people already drive on the road illegally. It would be safer to drive on the right-of-way illegally. I mean, you're not gonna stop people in here to take their golf carts in town.
No, you're gonna have semis on the road with you too, I don't know how safe that is.
VDOT is not going to stop anyone.
No, they're not.
It'll be either the sheriff or.
But okay,
Especially as a traffic management.
This is more of a comment, and Crosby can correct me if I'm wrong. Low-speed vehicles, you may have seen them, they're the ones that they look like golf carts, but they have license plates on them. And I believe the state law is they can go on any road that's 35 miles an hour or less, and they can cross any road, no matter what the speed limit, as long as the road on the other side is 35 miles an hour or less.
Actually, that's 25 miles an
So, sorry?
hour. Actually, that's 25 miles an hour.
It's 25?
It's 35.
It's 35.
Low-speed vehicle.
We had the vehicles, we read the law, we know what it is. It's 35 miles an hour.
Maybe you're right, but I just read it when I came, before I came here, I read that law, it says 25 miles an hour, you can ride the bike.
That's maybe, that may be golf carts, but it's not low-speed vehicles.
There's a difference between golf carts and
Oh, okay.
We did a lot of research on that.
Yeah, the tags.
You're referring to electric cars like,
No, I'm referring to any vehicle that's deemed by the state as low speed. There's a specific license for low speed vehicles. And there are some low speed vehicles that resemble closely to a golf cart.
You're talking about tag and everything.
Yes.
Well, that's different.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's 35 or less.
Schedule question. This may be for the construction team. So it's projected to end next December. So what can we expect from noise level during that period of time, and also just for this summer, June, July, August?
we do not have a contract yet. I would anticipate we're gonna have one in about 2 weeks. That puts us mid-June. I would anticipate construction starting mid-July, maybe right after the 4th of July. And they're gonna take advantage of all the weather that they can get, because pretty much December through March, we'll be limited on what work we can do. But again, they're gonna be starting in this, what we consider green space, away from everybody. So I'd anticipate that being the first summer. You wouldn't see any activity on this road that would affect you directly, probably till next year.
Thanks.
What is the planned speed limit of the portion of Old Cape Charles Road that goes from the new intersection with the stop sign to the hump? Right now, that small portion is 25 and 35, but when you make it a stop, will it go down to 25?
Again, that's not part of this project,
Okay.
so we can go into that.
Who will know, who can tell us what that speed limit might be reassessed to be?
Well, as far as I know, that our traffic engineering does that. They do a speed study. Based on that, they will put the speed limit, whatever that comes out to be.
Will they do a new speed study because you're changing the road and it's no longer a continuous road, it's now a stop sign?
I have to get back to you on that one.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Bill?
Anybody else?
Will you control the speed limit on the new road?
We don't, no, we don't control anything, we do design. I mean, anytime we design a roadway, we have to, what they call a design speed. Based on design speed, we come up with this, what this curve should be,
Right.
and things like geometric features. That's what we do. But we have to start with the design speed, not the speed limit, that's a different, it's a design speed.
But you anticipate that the new road, when completed from end to end, would most likely be 35 miles an hour?
It will be 35 miles an hour.
Will be so.
It will be 35. Thank you. Okay.
You had mentioned about the bicycle path on the shoulders. Will VDOT put the emblems on the shoulders?
You mean the bicycles?
Yeah.
Bicycle symbol? No. There wouldn't be any emblems shown there. But legally, anybody can ride to the shoulder. There will be yellow stripes, and then there will be white stripes showing the division between lane and shoulder. And legally, people can drive to ride to the shoulder.
As a bicycle rider, I don't ride out on the streets. I think it would be very unsafe. Certainly if it's marked, it might improve a little bit. But what you're going to have is just an empty pavement. That's going to be dangerous for people on bicycles, especially with these big trucks coming out. And I think we desperately need a bike path / golf cart road to get us into town. With a pain in the neck and a terrible waste and bad for the environment to have to get in a car and drive in to go to the pharmacy or one of the other downtown stores. We desperately need a bike path, and that's all I can say.
Anybody else?
I'm curious, and it really has nothing to do with me, but do we have a school bus stop right in front of Bay Creek?
Yes.
Okay, and it just behooves me that nobody's asked questions, what are we gonna do for the kids? Where are the kids supposed to wait and,
They have to follow the same bus stop rules as out on 13. There's bus stops out on 13 also.
Okay.
So, when the bus stops, you have to stop and go either direction.
No, I just thought like I heard before, like a stop sign or something there might be a little safer, especially if we got school kids getting on and off buses there. I don't have kids, I just was curious.
Coming out of Bay Creek down here, okay, onto the new road. I'm on a bicycle or I'm in a golf cart. I've got to cross that road to get onto the other side, to be on the correct side if I'm going into town. Now, what are we going to do there so people cross over without getting, run over? In other words, you're going to have some signs there that say, in most places they have like a yield sign, or they have a picture of a guy on a bicycle.
Right.
So as you're driving down, you say, "Well, this is a bicycle area where somebody crosses. I'll slow down."
No, there's not going to be any signs like that.
I'm sorry?
There is not going to be any signs. Legally, I cannot do that. I cannot put a sign to cross your golf cart through a 35 miles an hour zone. That's illegal. I cannot do anything illegal.
Who puts the sign up there?
What's that?
Who is in charge of the signs?
Well, signs, we put that, but it has to be legal. We cannot do something illegal.
I personally think that we really have to worry about the control speed. We lived there, we had a truck come down that road, missed the turn, and went right into the field. I mean, knocked utilities down.
Right here?
Right
Yeah.
there, right. I mean, the truck traffic travels along there at high speeds, and they don't care. And now the people that are coming out of the plant where they work, they're gonna fly, that's 70 miles an hour along there too. Pardon me?
That's a police enforcement.
Yeah, so I agree we're gonna have to, we as a community are gonna have to do something about it.
So
essentially what I'm hearing today is that a golf cart owner, I cannot legally go to Mason Avenue from Bay Creek. If I do it, I have to do it illegally. I don't mind that, but that's what you're saying.
But I'm not saying that. Every individual make that choice. I can just tell you what it is that we're doing here, what we're building.
How wide is the right of way? The median? No, not the median. Shoulder.
4 feet. Shoulders is a 6 feet shoulders.
6 feet shoulder. So anybody can use that.
4 feet
Except golf carts.
But bikes can use it. How does that make any sense? I don't understand that. If bikes can use it, why can't golf carts use it?
That's the state law. I don't write the laws, so.
You have to talk to the
At 6
legislators.
feet wide, a golf cart would certainly fit there.
We have to work with Bay Creek.
You got me confused because just earlier on, you were saying that there would be no golf cart. But why can't the golf carts use the bicycle? Make it a combination bicycle and golf carts. It solves the problem. So you have a golf cart.
We're just, like you said, we're building the road. That's why we can't answer that question. That's legal question. I'm not here to. I'm not a legislator. I can't do that. I can just tell you the fact what we're doing.
That's why.
Okay. Boy.
Is that it? I think we've
That's it. All right.
concluded this issue. We very much appreciate your taking your time again, coming out here, you and your colleagues at VDOT. I'm really excited that there's that much interest in the public road project. So we thank all of you for coming out. And while you'll be here for a minute, if you want to look at the maps that we have. Thank you very much.